11 Tactics to Outsmart Toxic People. All right, let's dive into something we all deal with, toxic people. You know the ones, the energy vampires, the drama starters, the ones who make you question your sanity. You're sipping your favorite coffee, scrolling through messages when suddenly you're hit with words that feel like a splash of cold water, someone's harsh comment, or an unkind gesture. And just like that, your day seems a bit less bright. Facing toxic people is a challenge we all encounter, but how we respond can entirely shift the dynamics. It's like you're stuck in quicksand. The harder you struggle to maintain your calm, the deeper you sink into frustration or anger. It's a test of our patience, but more importantly, of our stoicism. But the way we react can completely change things. Have you ever noticed how sometimes a single negative comment can cling to your thoughts longer than a compliment? It's like a stain on your favorite shirt that refuses to wash out. Now here is where your power lies, in the ability to see that stain and decide not to let it ruin your shirt or your day. It's about understanding that these harsh moments reflect less about you and more about the other person's internal battles and insecurities. So, how do we navigate these tricky waters without losing ourselves in the process? The answer, my friends, lies in a blend of ancient wisdom and modern self-awareness. In his meditations, Marcus Aurelius offered a timeless piece of wisdom. He said when another person blames you or hates you, or people voice similar criticisms, go to their souls, penetrate inside, and see what sort of people there. You will realize that there is no need to be racked with anxiety that they should hold any particular opinion about you. This perspective invites us to look beyond surface interactions and understand the deeper motivations behind others' actions. This moment of confrontation with negativity also presents a unique opportunity for self-reflection. This wisdom invites us to look beyond the surface and understand the deeper motivations behind other people's actions. I challenge you to dive inward, stripping away the layers of expectations and societal masks. What truths about yourself have been shadowed by others' judgments? Are you allowing someone else's negativity to define your day or your worth? Let's embark on this journey of self-discovery together, finding strategies to not only deal with toxic individuals, but also to strengthen our sense of self. It's about learning to protect your energy, set boundaries, and ultimately, live a more peaceful and fulfilling life, even when surrounded by negativity. 1. Self-awareness, your personal smoke detector. You've likely met someone in your life who just seems to push all the wrong buttons, right? We often call these people toxic because they spread negativity like a cloud of smoke, making it hard to see clearly. But what if I told you there's a way to clear the air and navigate through this smoke without losing your way? It all starts with self-awareness. Just like knowing you're allergic to smoke makes you avoid it, understanding your responses to toxic people can empower you to keep your distance emotionally. It reminds me of a lesson from an old fencing master who taught his students that the real skill in fencing wasn't just in attacking, but in knowing precisely when to dodge. Self-awareness is like knowing your own weaknesses, the emotional landmines that others might trigger. Each time a toxic person lashes out, picture yourself executing a perfect sidestep. You don't absorb the blow because you're aware of your own boundaries, and you respect them enough not to let anyone cross. This doesn't require anger or a counterattack, just a quiet, unshakable knowledge of who you are. It gives you the power to choose your response, rather than react impulsively. This doesn't require anger or a counterattack, just a quiet, unshakable knowledge of who you are. Now, turning this understanding into a part of your daily life isn't as hard as you might think. Consider it like tying your shoes. In the beginning, it's something you have to focus on, but eventually it becomes second nature. Being self-aware in difficult situations will turn into second nature. When dealing with negativity, take a step back and ask yourself, why does this bother me? Or what can I learn from this? These questions aren't about making excuses for others, but about reinforcing your own mental fortitude. These questions will reinforce your fortitude. Why does this bother me? And what can I learn from this? Take a moment to understand that this path will not be free of obstacles. Self-awareness and navigating through the smoke of others' negativity is no fairy tale. There will be days when it feels easier to just react to throw back what was thrown at you. But that's a fleeting victory, one that feels hollow because it betrays who you are. Each time you choose to respond rather than react, remember you're not doing it because it's the easy choice, but because it's the right one for you. Remember, responding is better than reacting. This is about building a fortress within yourself, not from arrogance, but from a place of strength and calm. It's not about ignoring the negativity, but acknowledging it without letting it define your actions. So embrace the challenge. It sharpens you, makes you more resilient, and in the long run, undeniably stronger. It's like practicing a martial art. You learn to defend yourself, not to become a bully, but to protect yourself from harm. This inner strength is what will allow you to navigate toxic situations with grace and poise. 2. Forgiveness and memory. Navigating the cosmic dance. Imagine you're out in the galaxy somewhere and you turn your gaze toward the sky. Do you notice how stars shine bright despite the encircling darkness? Think of these stars as people who add value to your life, illuminating your path with understanding and empathy. On the other hand, you may come across black holes, a representation of toxic individuals who pull you into their darkness, stripping you of your joy and energy. Now comes the question, is there a way to navigate this cosmic dance of relationships without getting sucked into these black holes? Picture yourself as a spaceship fueled not by hydrogen, but courage and wisdom. This courage is your forgiveness, the power cell that absolves people of their faults and lets you be higher than any toxic influence. It disentangles you from the gravity of resentment that chains you to painful memories and grudges. Forgiveness is the first part of the equation. Forgiving doesn't mean condoning bad behavior, but it means releasing yourself from the burden of resentment. It's like letting go of a hot coal. It only hurts you if you hold on to it. It frees you from the gravity of resentment that chains you to painful memories and grudges. Yet every spaceship needs a navigational system. This is your memory, the keeper of life's lessons, the silent whisper in your ear reminding you to take a detour when a known black hole looms in your flight path. This is the silent keeper reminding you to take a detour when a known black hole looms in your flight path. The truth is our past encounters with toxicity aren't shackles. They are points on a star map guiding us towards safer orbits. Every lesson learned from dealing with a toxic individual, every overpowering emotion felt becomes a beacon reminding us what to avoid and helping shape our interactions. You can use these as points on a star map guiding you towards safer orbits. This combination of forgiveness and memory is the compass guiding us through the complex constellation of relationships. Bearing these thoughts in mind, I ask you to ponder on your journey through this celestial dance of relationships. Through whom do you see the brilliance of a star? And from whom do you need to divert like a black hole? Use your forgiveness as a fuel that propels you forward and let your memory help you navigate to avoid repeating the same pattern in the dance of relationships. Use your forgiveness as a fuel that propels you forward and let your memory help you to avoid the repeating patterns. In the dance of relationships, in this intricate ballet of life, let us aspire to be the spaceship that forges its path through cosmic chaos with refined grace driven by the power of forgiveness and guided by the wisdom of memory. Forgiveness and memory are not mutually exclusive. You can forgive someone without forgetting what they did. In fact, remembering the lessons you've learned from past toxic relationships is essential for protecting yourself in the future. 3. Emotional stability, your inner mountain. Navigating life surrounded by toxic individuals can feel like trekking through a dense fog. You lose sight of where you're headed, and every step feels uncertain. It's like life among toxicity is walking through a dense fog. But what if I told you there's a way to clear the fog? It starts from within, through the strength of emotional stability cultivated by Stoicism. This is the key to the long-term success with dealing with toxic people. Think about that one person who, no matter the chaos, never seems ruffled like a mountain standing firm against a raging storm. This isn't about being indifferent or cold. It's about recognizing that the only thing truly under our control is how we respond to the outside world. It's not about indifference. It's about recognizing that the only thing we control is our reaction to what is happening. Stoicism teaches us that our power lies in our reaction, not in trying to control the uncontrollable. So when faced with toxicity, we channel our inner Stoic. Instead of engaging in the drama, we pause. It's like being in the eye of the hurricane. Everything's wild on the outside, but here it's calm. This space allows us to breathe, think, and then act from a place of rational calmness. When toxicity hits, don't react. Think, breathe, calm down, then react. It's about shifting focus from what's happening around us to how we're going to let it affect our inner peace. And how do we do this? By practicing mindfulness. Yes, it's tossed around a lot these days, but here's the real kicker: it works. Mindfulness lets us detach, observe the chaos without getting sucked in. It's not about ignoring the toxicity, but acknowledging it without letting it dictate our peace. It's realizing that much like clouds in the sky, these moments will pass. It's about observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment, recognizing them as temporary phenomena that don't define you. Mindfulness will allow you to observe what is happening without getting sucked in. Much like clouds in the sky, these thoughts and emotions will pass. So the next time you find yourself in the midst of negativity, remember you're the architect of your peace. Build it strong. The stronger you make your peace, the better off you will be. Emotional stability is not about suppressing emotions. It's about understanding them and choosing how to respond in a way that protects your inner peace. It's about building a solid foundation within yourself so that you can weather any storm that comes your way. 4. Setting boundaries. The art of the personal garden. Imagine stepping into a world where every interaction you have is like a brushstroke on the canvas of your day. Some strokes are vibrant and uplifting, enhancing the beauty of your existence. Then there are those strokes, dark, heavy, and inconsistent, left by toxic people in your life. Setting boundaries is like picking which brush strokes you want to be a part of your life. These interactions don't just leave a mark. They alter the entire masterpiece of your day, your mood, and even your self-perception. What brushstrokes you do want in your life? Now think about ancient Stoics. They were masters of their own minds, not by avoiding adversity, but by fortifying their inner walls. They knew that not every opinion, critique, or negative energy deserved their attention. They were masters of their own minds and would fortify their inner walls. What if I told you that dealing with toxic people could be approached with the same stoicism? It's not about building an impenetrable wall, but about choosing which gates to open and when. This selective openness doesn't make you less of a person, it makes you a curator of your own peace. Picture your energy as a limited, precious resource like water in a desert. Every interaction you partake in is like giving a drug of that water away. Now, would you rather give it to someone who plants seeds in your desert, making it bloom, or to someone who lets it evaporate under the scornful sun? Think of it as only choosing who deserves your energy. Setting boundaries is about investing your energy wisely, not with arrogance or disdain, but with the calm resolve of the Stoic who knows his worth and the value of his time. It's about calmly communicating. This is where I draw the line, because your peace is not up for negotiation. Know where your line is. Be able to communicate that. So let's move forward with this mindset. View each day as an opportunity to paint your masterpiece, to invest your energy where it grows wonders. Remember, respecting yourself enough to set boundaries is not an act of aggression. It's an act of self-respect and wisdom. Respecting yourself enough to set boundaries is not aggression. It is wisdom. Start today, not by cutting people out, but by delineating where your garden ends and the wild begins, and watch how the landscape of your life transforms. This isn't about being mean or unkind. It's about protecting your energy and creating a space where you can thrive. If this video is resonating with you, let us know in the comments, and give a like to spread its message, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more insights. 5. Energy intelligence. Mastering your inner climate. Ever find yourself sharing space with someone whose energy feels like a thunderstorm, turning your sunny day upside down? Navigating the choppy waters of interactions with toxic people can test the calmest of minds. They make it hard to even think straight. But let's turn the lens inward and explore the concept of energy intelligence as our compass. Learn to think of energy intelligence. Think of your energy as a protective barrier, much like an ancient city wall, something that preserves your peace and keeps out unwelcome negativity. It's like having an energetic force field that shields you from negativity. Now consider for a moment the power of choice in these situations. Just as you decide what fuel to put in your car, determining its performance and longevity, you hold the power to select how you react and engage with energy-draining individuals. The choices you make will affect your emotional well-being. Responding with patience and understanding, or choosing not to engage at all, can be your super fuel, optimizing your emotional well-being and keeping you on a steady course. These choices can be your super fuel. This isn't about avoiding conflict. It's about arming yourself with wisdom and making choices that align with your peace. It's not about shrinking away from challenges. It's about approaching them with a clear and focused mind. Harnessing this intelligence goes beyond mere self-control. It's about creating a space around you that is so grounded, even the mightiest storm can't shake your foundation. You make your own space and ground yourself. Like a tree deeply rooted in the earth, you are immovable, not because the wind doesn't blow around you, but because you've mastered the art of bending and swaying with it without breaking. This strength and flexibility disarm toxic energy, leaving it no choice but to dissipate or move along. It's like becoming a black belt in emotional self-defense. You learn to deflect negativity, not by fighting it head-on, but by using its momentum to your advantage. Now I invite you to reflect on how you've been managing your energy in the face of adversity. Think about those moments when you felt overwhelmed by someone else's negativity. How did you respond? Did you let their storm cloud your sky? Or did you shine even brighter, guiding both of you back to calm? Remember to take time to think about this. How did you respond to their negativity? This journey isn't about becoming unaffected. It's about recognizing that within you lies a reservoir of strength and wisdom ready to face any challenge that comes your way. It is about recognizing you have what it takes to overcome any negativity. Pause, breathe, and remind yourself of the power you hold. Moving forward, how will you channel this energy intelligence to not just protect your peace, but also to light the way for others? Moving forward, you will protect your peace. Remember, the real test of your inner strength isn't how you avoid the storm, but how you dance in the rain. 6. Focus on goals. Charting your course amidst the storm. You know, when you set your eyes on something you really want, perhaps it's mastering a new skill, reaching a fitness goal, or even advancing in your personal projects. It feels like you're on a clear path, right? But then unexpectedly, you encounter people or situations that dampen your spirit. These encounters can throw you off almost like a gust of wind redirecting a paper airplane. This can be frustrating. It's disheartening to say the least. Focusing on what you want can keep you motivated despite toxicity. Take the story of Jordan, for instance. Jordan was all in on starting a small online business. The skepticism from friends and family came in waves, some doubting out loud, others subtly recommending safer paths. It's a scenario many of us are familiar with. Instead of getting embroiled in fruitless debates or attempting to validate his ambitions, Jordan concentrated on refining his skills, broadening his knowledge, and building his business one step at a time. He wanted to make something of himself and was willing to work hard for it. What can we learn from Jordan's journey? A steadfast belief in one's vision and a refusal to let negativity detour one's path. The important thing is to stay on your path. Refuse to let negativity make you not achieve your goals. This segues into how we deal with toxic people, a skill that requires finesse. The Stoics were on to something profound. They focused on what's within our control, and let's face it, altering others isn't in that category. The first thing you must realize is that people are not in your control. Focus on what is in your power to change. However, managing our response to them is well within our grasp. It's about maintaining a mental barrier, ensuring negativity doesn't penetrate and cloud our judgment or spirits. Negativity should not be allowed to cloud judgment. Imagine a raincoat during a downpour. It doesn't stop the rain, but keeps you dry. That's the kind of resilience we're after. Just continue to move forward. So the next time you find yourself facing skepticism or negativity regarding your plans or ambitions, think of Jordan. Redirect your energy not into convincing detractors, but into fortifying your own path. Offer a smile and nod, and carry on with your endeavors. You have goals to meet, and no amount of negativity deserves to occupy space in your thoughts without paying rent. Embrace stoicism, focus on your actions, enjoy the process, and allow the descent to become a mere whisper in the background. It's your journey, and you're the sole navigator of your path. No one can steal your goals from you, but they can affect the journey. 7. Seeking support, lighting the path through the darkness. Every once in a while, we bump into someone who seems to challenge our peace of mind on every possible level. You know, those people whose presence feels like a storm cloud on a sunny day. It's like you're stuck in quicksand. The harder you struggle to maintain your calm, the deeper you sink into frustration or anger. Seeking support is always an option you should make sure you exercise. This is the complex dynamic we often find ourselves in when dealing with toxic individuals. It's a test of our patience, but more importantly, of our stoicism. But let's take a closer look at how reaching out for support in these situations doesn't show weakness, it reveals wisdom. Talking to other people for help shows wisdom. You are not alone. Much like how a single candle can break the darkness, sharing your struggles with someone who understands can light up paths you didn't see before. These are the people who add strength to our resolve, not by fighting our battles for us, but by reminding us of the power of our own mental fortitude. Let people add to our resolve. Imagine having a wise elder in your corner offering advice drawn from a well of experience. That's the kind of invaluable support that can help us navigate through the toxicity with grace. An elder can offer you advice from a position of knowing and understanding. To harness the stoic strength within us, we need to recognize when external perspectives can help us. Sometimes it is good to reach out to people and ask for some perspective. It's about understanding that while we can't control the actions of others, we can certainly control our reactions to them. Through the art of stoicism, we learn to detach, to see the situation from a higher perspective. It's like zooming out on a map to find alternative routes we might have missed while being zoomed in. Sometimes it is good to zoom out and gain some perspective. In seeking support, we allow ourselves the space to breathe, reflect, and choose our responses carefully, ensuring they align with our values and sense of peace. In choosing your actions carefully, you can make sure you are aligned with your values. Now take a moment to think about your own encounters with challenging individuals. How have you navigated these waters? Have you tried to go it alone, relying solely on your strength? Or have you reached out for that supportive perspective that could change everything? Have you asked for help? Remember, the true mark of a Stoic isn't in silence or solitary suffering, but in knowing when and how to engage the wisdom around us to walk the path with greater ease and understanding. It is about engaging with the wisdom around us and walking the path of understanding. 8. Control of negative self-talk, guarding the inner garden. Remember the first time you crossed paths with someone whose energy felt like a rain cloud on a parade. We've all been there, feeling the weight of someone else's negativity pulling us down. It can happen easily. Surprisingly, the way we talk to ourselves when dealing with toxic people can either be our armor or our Achilles heel. Negative talk can either be armor or can be an Achilles heel. Think of your mind like a garden, and every thought about yourself as a seed. Planting seeds of strength and resilience helps us stand tall, but sprinkle in doubts and fears, and those toxic weeds start to choke out all the good. The mind is like a garden. Make sure to plant seeds of strength. But that's just part of the story. Walking away isn't always an option, and here's where the ancient wisdom of Stoicism steps in. It's not about what happens to us, but about how we react to it. Stoicism enlightens us. The true strength is found in our reactions. Remember, you are responsible for your own actions. Thus, when navigating through the turbulence of someone else's negative influence, carefully monitor the conversations you have with yourself. Talk with yourself in a positive tone. Instead of asking, "Why do I have to deal with this?" consider pondering, "How can I grow stronger from this encounter?" It may cultivate resilience, empathy, or the courage to uphold your boundaries. You should think, how can you grow stronger? Altering your viewpoint is not merely playing with semantics, it's reclaiming your power. Take back the power. Another tool at your disposal, that little but powerful thing called detachment. Not cold, not uncaring, just wisely choosing where your energy goes. Choose where your energy goes. Imagine someone's negative comments as arrows now. If your self-worth is an impenetrable shield, those arrows can't touch you. This doesn't mean you won't feel the sting sometimes, but remember, those arrows can only wound you if you let them. Your self-worth is a shield against people's criticism. Do not let people hurt you with their words. So take a moment to reflect, how often do you let external negativity influence your self-talk? Reflect on how external negativity influences self-talk. Controlling this doesn't mean building a fortress around your heart. It's about knowing your worth, understanding that your reaction is your power, and sometimes simply deciding not to give your peace away. Your reaction is power. It can come in the form of deciding not to give your peace away. Stoicism isn't about emotionless existence, but choosing which battles are worth your heartbeats. It is choosing battles wisely. Remember, the only person you really have control over in this life is you. 9. Solution-oriented approach. Turning toxicity into opportunity. Do you ever ask yourself how to handle those toxic people we all inevitably cross paths with? It's like navigating through a dense fog where every step feels uncertain and the air feels heavy. Toxicity can be like fog in a dense forest. The key here is adopting a solution-oriented mindset rooted deeply in the principles of Stoicism. This approach sets the stage for us to transform these interactions into opportunities for personal growth and emotional intelligence rather than sources of frustration. Think of adopting a solution-oriented mindset. It sets the stage for personal growth and emotional intelligence. As you might imagine, flipping the script on toxic encounters requires creativity. It's like playing chess. You need to think several moves ahead, anticipating reactions without becoming emotionally entangled. It helps to think several moves ahead. This means listening more than you speak and responding with calmness, a trait admired by many but mastered by few. Listen more than you speak and respond with calmness. This strategic creativity enables you to maintain your peace and not get pulled into the chaos. It enables you to maintain peace. Adaptability in these situations is your best friend. It's the ability to remain true to your values while navigating the challenge of interacting with difficult personalities. Adaptability is your best friend. Imagine you're a tree, firm in your roots, yet flexible in the wind. You sway, but do not break when faced with the gales of toxicity. It helps to be like a tree, rooted and flexible. This resilience strengthens your character and equips you with the tools to face any storm. The more resilience you show, the better you can weather any storm. I'm inviting you now to reflect, how do you react when confronted with negativity or manipulation? Remember, the presence of toxic people might not be within your control, but how you respond is. To reflect, ask yourself, how do you react to negativity? By incorporating a Stoic solution-oriented mindset, you're not just avoiding the pitfalls of negativity, you're actively shaping a life of peace, resilience, and dignity. Actively shape a life of peace and resilience. Remember, in the grand scheme of things, it's not the obstacles we face, but how we overcome them that defines us. 10. Avoiding unnecessary arguments. Choosing your battles wisely. Choose your battles wisely. That's a piece of advice as old as time, but it's never been more relevant than in today's world where every interaction can feel like a minefield. You're not in charge of fighting every battle. When dealing with toxic people, it's like navigating a maze in the dark. You never know when you might bump into a wall. Do not charge at every wall you encounter. The key here is not to charge at every wall you encounter, but to feel your way around and decide which paths are worth taking. Some conflicts are just dead ends, energy drainers with no exit or treasure at the end. Recognizing this can save you a lot of headaches. Learn to recognize conflicts that are dead ends. You will be surprised to learn that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is not to react at all. Silence can be louder than any word you might throw into the fray. Silence can be louder than words. When toxic people aim their negativity at you, they're often looking for a reaction, any sign that their words have hit home, by choosing not to engage or taking the wind out of their sails. People feed off their negativity. By choosing not to engage, you win. It's not about ignoring the problem, but about choosing not to let it control you. Your energy is precious. Spend it on battles that matter. Use your energy where it counts. Beware the trap of trying to change someone's toxic behavior by arguing or reasoning with them. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. It only fuels the flames. Arguing is putting gasoline on a fire. Instead, ask reflective questions to encourage them to see the situation from a different perspective. It's about shifting from confrontation to conversation. Use questions instead of confrontation. This approach won't work every time, and that's okay. The goal isn't to win every battle with them, but to maintain your peace and dignity in the process. Not every time will be a success. The key is to maintain your own peace. On the battlefield, empathy is your shield and patience your sword. Trying to understand where the other person is coming from doesn't mean you agree with them or condone their behavior. It means you're strong enough to look beyond the surface. Try to see it from their perspective. Remember, everyone is fighting their own battles, some of which you know nothing about. By practicing patience, you give yourself time to respond rather than react. This doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. Being stoic is not weakness, it is wisdom. I'm inviting you to take a moment and reflect on your encounter with difficult people. Are there patterns you notice? Are there battles you've been fighting that are simply not worth your time? It helps to take a moment and reflect. Remember, being stoic isn't about being emotionless. It's about not allowing your emotions to control you. It's about choosing where to focus your energy, knowing not every battle is yours to fight. It is about not allowing your emotions to control you. So next time you're faced with a potential argument, take a step back, breathe, and ask yourself, is this really worth my peace? 11. Detection of false cordiality. Unmasking hidden intentions. Isn't it shocking how quickly a simple discussion can escalate into a full-blown argument? It's like a small spark turning into a wildfire, destroying everything in its path. A simple discussion can easily turn into a screaming match. But here's the thing, not every spark has to turn into a fire, especially when dealing with toxic people. Understanding the concept of false cordiality can be your fire extinguisher. It helps to understand false cordiality. It's about recognizing when someone's pretending to be on your side while silently stacking the wood to feed the flames. They might smile, but they're secretly hoping you fail. Body language doesn't lie. A grin that doesn't light up their eyes or arms crossed tightly across their chest are telltale signs of insincerity, a subtle clue that you're dealing with hidden agendas, not genuine concern. Pay attention to body language. Pause for a moment and listen to what's not being said. A voice dripping with honey but lacking warmth, or an awkward laugh that seems to jar with the flow of conversation, can reveal more than words ever could. Pay attention to how they are talking. These nuances of communication are like invisible threads pulling at your intuition, tugging you towards the realization that all is not as it seems. Don't ignore what your intuition says. The way someone speaks can be the mirror reflecting their true intentions, clear as day for those who choose to see. How someone speaks can show what their true intentions are. Now think about the patterns you notice in people's behavior. Consistent actions reveal a person's true character. It's like the steady beat of a drum, unchanging and reliable. The most steady pattern of actions show a person's true character. On the other hand, behavior that swings wildly based on who's watching is as flimsy as a leaf in the wind, signifying that the show of friendship is just that, a show. When behavior changes by who is watching, is often just a show. It's crucial to observe these patterns, for in the realm of human interactions, consistency is king. Consistency is everything. Being able to sift through the facades of false cordiality is not just about safeguarding yourself against toxic relationships. It's about cultivating an environment where authentic relationships can flourish. It's about being a beacon of authenticity and a sea of pretense, guiding others towards the shores of genuine connections. Sifting through these can help you find true relationships. So next time you sense that something's off, trust your gut, pay attention to the signs, and remember, not every hand extended in friendship is one worth shaking. Your gut is important. Trust it. Stay steadfast, for the path ahead is yours alone. You control your own path. Remember, your peace is a fortress guarded with the wisdom of Stoicism. It is with Stoicism that you guard your peace. Exploring Stoicism offers the chance to not only handle toxic individuals, but to also lead a more fulfilling life. And there's a deeper world of Stoic wisdom awaiting you. And by joining our free newsletter, you're taking the first step towards it. Claim your spot now and deepen your understanding and connections within this remarkable philosophy. Don't miss out. Check the link in the description and secure your place among fellow Stoics. Navigating the toxic landscape, a Stoic's toolkit. All right, so we've explored a whole arsenal of tools for dealing with toxic people. But how do you put it all together? What's the big picture here? Well, here's a quick recap of our 11 strategies, your personal Stoic toolkit. Self-awareness. Know thyself. Understand your triggers and vulnerabilities. Forgiveness and memory. Forgive, but don't forget the lessons learned. Emotional stability. Cultivate inner calm and resilience. Setting boundaries. Protect your energy and define your limits. Energy intelligence. Make conscious choices about who and what you engage with. Focus on goals. Stay committed to your path, despite the negativity. Seeking support. Don't be afraid to reach out for help and perspective. Control of negative self-talk. Guard your inner garden and plant seeds of strength. Solution-oriented approach. Transform toxic encounters into opportunities for growth. Avoiding unnecessary arguments. Choose your battles wisely and disengage when necessary. Detection of false cordiality. Recognize hidden intentions and insincere gestures. By embracing these principles, you can transform your relationship with toxic people. You'll no longer be a victim of their negativity, but rather a resilient and empowered individual who can navigate even the most challenging interactions with grace and wisdom. So, take these tools, practice them, and build your own Stoic fortress. Your peace of mind is worth fighting for. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate toxic people from your life entirely. That may not be possible, but to minimize their impact on your well-being and create a life that is filled with joy, purpose, and authentic connections. You can do it. Check the link in the description and secure your place among fellow Stoics.